Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. It's Rad, and what a storming couple of weeks, guys. What a storming couple of weeks. First, I got ill for about a week and something, for about a week or so, and then just about when I was starting to get better, a kidney crisis hit me. I mean, stoned. So incapacitated for 2 weeks, and that happens right at the beginning of my return into producing videos. And that is the reason why there is only one production for weekly videos and then abrupt stop. And as I am working for 2 weeks ahead, okay, there are not going to be videos for another 2 weeks. Hopefully such a calamity ain't going to happen again to me and to my health, and I will be able to continue on doing the weekly videos without any interruptions anymore. Hello Nancy, hello Yasmin, welcome to the stream. So the kidney stone passed the painful part that happened yesterday evening, and now I am okay. I actually enjoyed my day today, my very first day without pain for about a week and a half. But that's besides the point of our live stream today. Today live stream, what do we need to know at this moment? And as per usual, guys, you know me, I am going to do the collective reading. You can check on the cards that I drew about a few hours ago at the thumbnail. I'm going to show them to you in any case right now. Yeah, Yasmin, it was very bad. At least first few days into the ordeal with the kidney, it was pretty bad. But now I think I am set to have a life. First card, that will be the Lovers. Then the second card I drew, that is the Eight of Wands, and I said, oh my god, what a time, what a time, because these two cards together, the Lovers and the Eight of Wands, as we have, are like that. I'm sorry, like that. It's a freedom of action. What I mean is that what we need to know just from that elemental dignity, guys, it is that within the next few days there are going to be so many ways how we can approach everything, how we can approach our work, how we can approach our children, how we can approach the endeavor that we are carrying on, how we can approach our undertakings, how we can approach the life in general, and so many ways how things can work. In fact, in every way things can work for us, and it all comes to that, what do we want as a result? Because having the Lovers at the very front position, it kind of speaks that there is going to be a certain sacrifice. That is the lesson that the Lovers teaches us. After, behind every major arcana, there is a lesson, and the lesson of the Lovers, it is that one cannot have everything. Thou cannot have everything. So thou needs to make thy mind about thy choice, what thou wants. Okay, does thou want to have a life as it should, or does thou want to have a life as thou wants? I hope that doesn't sound much complicated, but think of it that way. Okay, you have multiple suitors, you cannot have them all, right? You gotta eventually choose one of those suitors and just carry on with them, right? So eventually some of these has to fall off. And the other elemental dignity, which is the High Priestess, not a major one in that particular case here next to the Lover's card. It pretty much kind of speaks for two things. One is that it will always gonna feel awkward, okay, whenever we do make our mind about the option available in front of us. And what I mean is gonna feel awkward, it is that we are always gonna have a little doubt that we could have done better. And the other thing about the High Priestess next to the Lovers in that particular setting, since we do have another influence of the Eight of Wands, this is pretty much, it's time to stir. It's pretty much, it's time to do something, to make a certain action, try to improve. And when I say improve, I mean in a harmonious way. For us to try to become more harmonious with the environment around us. For example, if you aren't feeling in harmony with your social circle, well, it's time to change that. It's time to change the social circle. And you are going to have a multiple ways how to do so, which everyone is going to work. Okay? The question is, what kind of a social circle you want? And whenever you make up that mind, you can make a move toward that direction. That is literally what we need to know right now, as an example, of course. All right, guys, so that's gonna do for the collective reading. The next thing, a few notes about the show. There are going to be 12 readings, one for each star sign. I'm going to start with Aries and I'm going to end up with Pisces. So I'm going to follow the order of the ecliptic for the Western astrology, okay? And while these are going to be readings for your star signs, I need to emphasize that they're not your personal readings. So depending on how strong or prominent one star sign is in your natal chart is going to define how that reading is going to affect you, where is going to affect you, and so on and so forth. For astrology readings, you can turn to Pisces Moonbeam, which isn't going to be much around tonight. She does have a personal matter to attend to, and I do hope that she's gonna have fun going there. Other than that, if you do wish your personal situations to be a subject of my interpretation, you can always go to my website, link of which you're gonna find in the description down below. And there at the very front page, you can see a full list of my services and as well their pricing. And other than that, if you do enjoy the show and you do wish to support us, you can always do so either via Super Chat or via PayPal. Which link you're also going to find in the description down below. Anyone who does so, you guys are going to have a reading at the end of the stream. That's guaranteed, just like Yasmin did. Thank you, Yasmin, for the $20 US. Thank you. Let me put you into the list. All right. All right, guys. So first star sign that I'm gonna check into, that's Aries. Hello, Anita. Welcome to the stream. All right. So the first card for Aries, that is going to be the High Priestess. Then we have the that is the King of Pentacles, and the other card, it's the Ace of Swords. Truths. It's one thing, and under truths I mean that what we need to know is that there is a certain information that is yet to arrive. So it will serve you best, at least according to these cards, if you kind of like refrain of making a life-changing choices within the next few days. For the most part, as with this is the stronger elemental dignity here, the queen of the soul, which is the High Priestess, and the King of Pentacles. It is when one, that is a guidance elemental dignity, and it says that one should strive to sustain. What I mean is that, or to cultivate, not to sustain, because sustain predisposed for a ruin, but to cultivate and nurture and nourish and try to regrow. Okay. to cultivate what it is already working into one's life, whether the business or whether the love life or whether the relationship, and to sustain it in a sense, to cultivate it as it is, that it makes sense. For the rest, that it doesn't make sense, it doesn't make sense because there is yet information to come around, and that is why it doesn't make any sense right now. So it's going to be best if you Aries pass on it for the moment instead of trying to kind of like have your shot being spent in the dark. Hello Anna, welcome to the stream. Oh, and hello Jen, welcome to the stream to you too. Nancy, thank you for the 20. Thank you, Nancy. Let me put you into the list. Nita, thank you for the 10. Thank you for the 10 US dollars. Let me put you into the list as well. At the end of the stream, you guys are going to have your personalized readings. So a message from my fellow Aquarius rising. You mean me? Because I am Aquarius rising. All right, next. Taurus. Anna, thank you for the 20. Thank you for the 20 US dollars. Let me put you into the list as well. Let me check if there was a certain inquiry. Okay, it wasn't. Well, you shall have one. You shall have a message from me, Nita. From my tarot cards. All right, Taurus now. Two of Swords. The High Priest or the Hierophant. And it is the Knight of Swords. So for a certain reason, at least according to these cards, that is, well, if that's what you wish, you know. At least according to these cards, Taurus, from that elemental dignity, here, it does look like that there is a mind made from you. Okay, you made up your mind, but yet, because of a circumstances, you haven't acted upon it, at least for now. Mattia, thank you for the 20 US dollars. Thank you, Mattia. Let me put you into a list as well. Okay, so you haven't acted upon it for now, and the big factor in it, at least as per the cards, it's the trust. You may not trust the process, you may not trust the other side, you may not trust yourself with it. Either way, whatever you hope that is going to make its progress, I don't know how to explain it, to make the choice for you, right? like when one is hoping that with time that's gonna be the only option available left, and that is when it's gonna be most appropriate to pretty much take it and whatnot, while all that time you knew that that's your thing, you know, but just because you don't trust the process, and you don't trust yourself, or you don't trust the other side, you haven't made a motion in that direction. Well, you need to stop that. I mean, not making motion into that direction. According to these cards, Taurus, what makes sense for you, it aligns right now with your feelings. Let's put it that way. I don't want to say what you want, because your feelings may be not justified, but what was the word? Righteous. Okay, so your intentions may be righteous. It may not be what you want, but what you feel is right, right? Either way, right now, like I said, what makes sense for you and is very aligned with your feelings, and so it will be a huge miss of a window of opportunity if you don't act on it right now, even if there is that crack in the trust. All right, next, Gemini. Good morning, News Devon. Knight of Cups, Three of Wands, and the Four of Cups. It's a bit of an easy read with these cards. A person that you are missing. There is a person that you are missing around you, and under missing, I mean you're not paying much attention to that individual as much as you should, because, can I put it into words? In that particular nature here, with these three cards, actually with these two cards, the Knight of Cups and the Four of Cups, this person wants exactly what you want and has a way to offer it to you, although because it's it's displayed by that elemental dignity with the Four of Cups, it did not make that revelation. What I mean is that while they are capable, they haven't shown that that they are capable, right? So nobody knows that they're capable of developing what you want, because that fits with what they want as well. The other elemental dignity stands for lack of foundation. I mean, the communication, the interaction, the relationship in between you two, it's pretty much almost DOA, so non-existent whatsoever, at least for now. And you will recognize that individual by them being, the word is not exactly cheerful, but they do follow what they do believe in, right? They don't follow particular rules other than their own rules, other than their own goals. So they don't handle very well with being told what to do. They don't handle very well being pushed around. They don't handle very well being beguiled as well. So again, that it is a person who wants what you want, whether you want love, whether you want business, whether you want money, and they have a way how you both can make that. News Devolve, thank you for the £5. Thank you, Ms. Devon. Let me put you into the list. Hello, Yada. Welcome to the stream. Right. All right, moving next will be Cancer. Guys, if you can help me with another English word, because I don't think that the dictionary translates it well, or at least it's not used in that particular context. And the word is austere. And in the book that I'm reading, it's used like for cheap, for unappealing, for how can I put it into words? For non-conspicuous, and as well, yeah, very much that's about it. And non-ostentatious as well, like simple. That is how it's in this particular line is used, austere. But the dictionary says that it is one that's pretty much one that sticks to the rules no matter what and enforces them, which isn't the way it's used. So I guess there is another meaning. All right, Cancer. The Hierophant. Knights of Pentacles. And Justice. Those are 3 cards for Cancer. Cancer are going to have a bit of a hard time. And the hard time is going to be an internal battle within themselves. So what happens according to these cards is that within the next few days, what you will find important and essential for your job, say, for your family, say, for your friendships, say, in generally what you're going to find important and essential within life, it will deviate from the responsibilities you are going to have to undertake. In other words, you will have certain responsibilities and you will see no point doing them because to you, they are not going to be important to you anymore. You ain't going to see why you need to kind of like undertake those responsibilities. And what these cards are advising you as a guidance is to change direction. Truly, I mean, what you need to know is that the next few days are going to be quite of a reach in destination, quite of a change in destination, and you're gonna figure out how to get where you. How can I put it into words? How to get to what is important to you, whether that's a stable job, whether that's a lot of money, whether that's love, step by step. And none of these steps is going to be covering up any of the certain responsibilities you do have at that particular moment. And we all know that we can't be everywhere, right? So you will need to make that particular choice. But like with the general reading, there is always an option, guys. It all comes to that. What do you want, right? Because we cannot have it all. If that is if the general reading is true, is going to be most true thus far for Cancer. Thank you, Yasmin. Yasmin. Thank you. Yeah, it kind of like, it felt like simplicity, but then I wonder why just don't you use simple, but instead that weird word, which probably simplicity, it's its final meaning, right? Because words have few meanings, and simplicity is it is its final meaning. Nobody is going to use it for simplicity, I believe. Because yeah, the whole scene was monarchs gathering to form a coalition, and the one that was above all, the one that was about to lead the coalition, because the author was describing their thrones and whatnot, and the author said, but this person brought just an austere stole. So I was thinking, well, then austere needs to be like, I don't know, like cheap, like simple, like you said, right? But why don't you use the word simple? Anyway, I was just curious, and I couldn't find that meaning in the dictionary. That's why I asked, guys. Thank you, Yasmin. Right, those are the cards for Leo. For Leo, sorry, 5 of Cups. Queen of Cups. And the Lovers here. So this sentiment, which you can't have it all, is gonna hit most thus far, Leo, from these cards, because that fact is gonna bring to them, by those 2 cards, a bit of a disappointment, at least at that particular moment, because there is going to be that negative wave which is going to hit you within the next couple of days, guys. And don't take it wrong, all right? I don't know how to start positive and end up positive. So I'm going to start negative, I'm going to end up positive. I promise you that. So let me give you an example here, all right? Let's say that, you know, you lack a romantic life, and from the collective readings, we all saw that we are going to have our options available in everything. So you're going to have your options available to date, and you pick up your option and you start dating in the next few days, actually going out, you know, just before the dating, just to see if that person is, it will accommodate you for courting. And instead of seeing the positive stuff, the positive attributes, the positive quirks into the person, the first thing that is going to start making up your mind are the negatives. For example, you want a person who doesn't smoke, and you want a person who is funny and all these kind of things. And they ain't gonna be that, but they're gonna be more of what you want in different departments. For example, loyal, for example, durable, right? For example, accountable, for example, reliable. But you will be prone to be focused more on the moody stuff, like the immediate things, like the mundane, right? At the start. Which is nothing wrong. I mean, I myself am focused on these kind of things. You know, I have a certain criterias, and if the woman doesn't meet them outright, if the woman doesn't meet them outright, and doesn't matter what kind of a person she is, it's just there is no chemistry. So Aries, I mean, everybody has their own deal breakers, right? And here it's going to be just on the cusp, not exactly deal breaker, but as you do have their options available, you know, you may as well kind of try to pick someone that fits as much as one can with your ideals and your standards. And it's going to be important for you to look past those disappointments, because again, you will be missing on the really positive stuff. And what you need to know it is that your options, if you are able to look past the afflictions and try to find the virtues out there in people or in jobs or in work, because that could be said the same for a project, for example, then you are off for something long term. I mean, whether that's a long-term relationship, whether it's a long-term job, whether it's a long-term purchase, like purchasing a house. And yeah, there is a few afflictions there. For example, it looks to the west rather than to the east, and you like sun, and we all know that if it looks to the west, it's less sunny than when it looks to the east, and it doesn't have that soil that you are used to grow your plants into. But it's, for example, a brick built rather than wood, and it's not gonna fall when next storm hits, right? And on top of that, it's in a very, very prominent area where there is no crime. You do have a grocery very close, and all these kind of things add up that are more important than the house looks to the west rather than to the east. Just for example here. So it's going to be important for Leo to look past the afflictions, the minor afflictions, at least at the start of their endeavors in the next couple of weeks, couple of days. I mean, 2 a week. Let's put it that way. So next, Virgo. All right, Seven of Pentacles, Justice, and then it is the Four of Wands. And it's about getting on top by, I'll put it that way, by abusing the system and weaknesses. So there are going to be cracks. Let me pour a glass of water, guys. And pour a glass of water. So there are going to be weaknesses in the strategy of your, say, rivals. Okay, say you are a lawyer and you do have a pretty tough case, and there is going to be a weakness in the strategy of the opposite attorney or the prosecutor or whatever case you have, and you get to abuse that. So you will have, for a change, Virgo, an opportunity to abuse the system and to get far more than what you are investing into it. So some people may call it a scheme, others may call it a luck, because that's exactly what luck is, or how people define it. It is that you do get something out of nothing, right? And that is exactly what you can do. What you can do here. Although, what do you need to know about it, Virgo, is that not much can be accomplished. Yeah, you may save the day for now, but this isn't going to accomplish the cycle. So what I mean is that if we're following the example with the lawyer, right? Yeah, you may abuse the system right now, you may get ahead, but this ain't gonna win your case. You can just get ahead. Yeah, you may kind of like stall a few nice moments with the person you like, but this ain't gonna win you the relationship, right? Yeah, I mean, you can get ahead at work, but that ain't gonna win you the position. So it's very important to get, if you go down that road, to get as much as you can. So you decide that you're gonna go for taking advantage of the system, and after that it's not gonna be any time for you being petty on yourself, or not disappointed, but regretful about that particular choice you made, right? Or even a petulant that you have been slipped, think that that is something good. Once decided going that way, you are committed. You stick with it. Hey Jen, thank you for the explanation. Thank you for the explanation. Yeah, that's what I thought. Like, it's something very simple that everybody has, right? So it doesn't stand out from the common people, and yet it leads the coalition, right? It shows that everybody is equal in there. That is at least how I took it. All right, next, Libra. Let's go for Libra. The Death card. Then is the Page of Cups. And after that, it is the Wheel of Fortune. So it's a let go of. In a process of that, for Libra, how can I describe this? So guys, everybody has their commitments, right? You have taken certain commitments. I have taken certain commitments. Everybody thus far gets committed to a job, gets committed to certain type of relationships, gets committed to a certain type of life. But some of these commitments, while worked before, they ain't working anymore. In a sense, is that it's like it is disaster, right? And they are kind of like dragging you behind, but nothing more you can gain from these commitments anymore. And so what you need to know it is that your position in regards to those commitments is going to start changing in the next few days. You will see, for example, no purpose anymore to continue on talking with this person, or going out with that individual, you know, or trying to prove yourself constantly at work, and so on and so forth. It could be about everything, but you're going to start changing. It can be about everything, but you're going to start changing positions about these commitments. And at the start, you may ask yourself, what's wrong with me, right? I know what is right. And thus far, kind of like keep on going with it. But now what's wrong with me to think that this isn't right? Don't think that of yourself. Life changes, it doesn't end. That is one of the lessons of the death card, and it is that things live, everything has a soul, right? Even a project has a soul, and it lives, it gives you what this soul is meant to give you, and then it dies, right? There is nothing more to be gained from it, and it is important to put it to rest, put it to bed, if you will, and replace it with a new soul, like a new project, like a new friendship, like a new undertaking. So it will be important to recognize those surges next few days. A surge to replace, that thing that you don't feel any more passion for it, you are not excited about it, with whatever makes you excited, because it's gonna be there. I mean, you will have a pretty good idea what you will want to do, where those this new position kind of like drags you to, or this new opinion. Because when I say position, I mean opinion, idea, figuring out stuff, and so on and so forth, because there is going to be an emotional attachment to it. And the Wheel of Fortune here, it only states that it's not going to be a sudden process. It's not going to happen right out. Oh my god, that expression, I need to check it out because I am talking. Anyway, hey Taco, welcome to the stream, mate. So it's not gonna happen immediately, you know, like you're going out on a date and suddenly deciding, you know, I don't like you. It's not going to happen like that. It will be a natural process, very unforceful and very unpainful, not a, how can I put it into words, not invasive process. It's going to happen naturally, and little by little you will see that it's better off that way. Follow that feeling. All right, next, Scorpio. God knows I need something good, right? Spending the last couple of weeks and a half in bed, oh, was terrible. I don't want to do it anymore. So I need something good. Oh. Taco, thank you for the $33 and 33 cents, mate. Let me put you into the list. Hold on a second. Thank you. You're gonna have your personalized reading. The kidney itself is good, Taco. The problem is the urethra. This is actually what it hurts. The kidneys, they don't hurt. I have a couple of friends which they don't have kidneys, unfortunately. You know, their kidneys died when they was young, and none of them said that the kidney ever hurt. It's just one day they started throwing up, you know, uncontrollably. That is, by the way, the final stage, that your kidney isn't working well. That is a symptom for many other things. But one of the things is that your body is trying to kind of get rid of fluids in any way possible, sweating, throwing up, and all these kind of, and I'm sorry for the expression here. But, and when they went to the doctor, their kidneys was pretty much dead. Nothing can be done about it. So, kidneys, they do not hurt, and that is terrifying about the kidneys. You do not know if you're not checking kind of like regularly, you know, you're not doing your regular 6 to 6 months, you know, full blood picture, and kind of like the irregular exams, because it's very easy to spot kidney failure. It's high creatinine. It's high creatinine in your blood. That's kidney failure, or at least your kidneys are clogging out. They can be saved. But if you aren't doing that, they can die without you even noticing. And when you experience the symptoms, it's a bit too late. Yeah. The stones are, they are a different story. Then there you don't have anything wrong with your kidney. It's just the urethra, the you know, the tube. That's what hurts, and it hurts like mother F. It hurts like mother F. It's awful. Sherry, thank you for the 20. Thank you, Sherry. Let me put you into the list. So, Scorpio. These are the cards, by the way. 7 of Wands, 7 of Wands, 3 of Wands, 10 of Cups, and I would need to smoke, guys. I have a I don't know if you are smokers, right? But nicotine starvation, when it starts, it's the only thing you can think of. It's the only thing. It is the cigarette, or it's not that of the cigarette. It's the feeling, the inhale. But it is a nicotine starvation, and it's just you can't do your job properly if you don't have the cigarette. So that's how it works here. This week, or the next few days, are going to be the days where the Scorpio, I mean, will be in a super favorable spot and position. Hey, Pisces Moonbeam, I hope you had a really, really nice time. You're gonna tell me later. So these two cards, they're showing the pretty much thus far immaculate performance. Whether immaculate performance with the person you're dating, if you're dating someone, or with your job, but immaculate performance. And this performance for us, Scorpio, is opening up, or I would say opportunities. I don't know the word, how to describe it. You know, guys, when you feel that you are at the right place with the right opportunities, with the right people, okay, at the right time as well. It's just the perfect storm, so to speak. So this is what is going to create. Our immaculate performance by that point is going to create that state where we are going to find ourselves at the right time, with the right people, at the right place, with the necessary means, so to speak. Small window of opportunity. It will be good to take it. The problem, you may ask, well, the problem comes from these two cards here. 7 of Wands and 10 of Cups. And they show that it's gonna feel like cheating. I personally don't have any bias to it. So if an opportunity opens up and it doesn't kind of like ruins the lives of others, I would take it. I don't care if I feel like I am deserving it or not. I'm just gonna take it. If it doesn't screws anyone else, no problem by me. Fine. But some may restrain themselves of that. You may think it's strange. I know that kind of people. In fact, I know a person who fucked up their entire life because of such a thing. It's a funny story. They thought that they do not deserve their grade on geography, so they nullified their grade for the entirety of their high school, and they held a full exam, right? A full exam on all of the geography that it is taught throughout the years in high school, and he failed. He failed, and I don't know if he even finished high school. I think, well, he should have, but not with the grade he needed for to be accepted in a prestigious university and whatnot. So you can pretty much shoot yourself in the foot that way pretty hard. Don't do that. Another thing that we Scorpio need to know, it is that we are further ahead than we think we are. Okay? To our competition, we are not a mile, we are 10 miles ahead. And that irritates them. So be aware of competition if you are performing in a competitive environment, of course. So be aware of competition. They're going to play dirty. Give them the same courtesy, I would say. Okay, next, Sagittarius. Oh, that's not true, Anna. The electronic cigarette that I still have the one with the liquid. It beats it. Or you mean the attachment? I don't know. I never did drugs, but I think drugs beat it. I mean, seeing people how ruin their lives with that, it beats me. So I guess it beats the Nicolae as well. All right, those are the cards for Sagittarius. The Hierophant, the Five of Wands, and the Ace of Cups. Your faith. By the way, I never saw the Hierophant that close to their ideal, because we all know that the ideal of the Hierophant, it is the faith we have. You know, for example, you have the faith that good will be returned. You do good and eventually the universe is going to pay back. Or you have faith that karma will punish those who are doing you wrong and whatnot. You know, these kind of beliefs, I mean, that kind of a faith. And that will hold true. That is what you need to know, that your faith is going to hold true and is going to happen here, whether in one way or in the other, with no deviations. That is the peculiar thing. Having that Five of Wands, it means that it's going to hold place exactly the way that it is believed that it should be. Another thing of that is believing, for example, that eventually, you know, you're going to find your place. Whether you're going to find your place in love, whether that you're going to find your place in career, and that might as well happen in the next few days, right? That's what you need to know as well. Bottom line is that whatever you believe that is going to come to you, that you are deprived of, and your life was bereft of it up until this point, it's nice. It's pretty much lunged into you, and it's about to crash in your life. So hopefully you do have a space to invite it in. Oh, vapes can hold to cigarettes. In fact, vapes can be very, very good. All right, much better than cigarettes. And the thing is that people don't invest in them. All right, what I am seeing about the vapes, at least the trend here in Bulgaria, is that people are buying these cheap products. Okay, like a vape for, I don't know, $30 or anything like that, and they're expecting to be good. Because the thing about the vape, it is that it is a multi-component. All right, yeah, the liquid is important, but also the cartomizer, the thing that vaporizes the liquid, is important, and the computer in it is important as well, because the computer determines how to vaporize it. And then the voltage is important, and the power is important to it, and all these kind of things. And in order to assemble something good, you kind of need to dig a bit deeper in your pockets. So good vape here to buy, a vape that is going to outclass cigarettes, would cost you about, and I'm talking about here in Bulgaria, I don't know how it is in the United States, but here is going to cost you about $120 to $150 to buy a good vape. That's you will not want to touch a cigarette after you start smoking it. Yeah, that's true, living girl. What is on vape? Only for battery? Oh my god, that needs to be a hell of a vape if $150 costs only the battery. That needs to kind of like, I don't know. I mean, that seems quite expensive. Jasmine, thank you for the 20. Thank you, Jasmine. At the end of the stream, you are going to have personalized reading. Oh yeah, oh, you need that. Stop. Well, what I am using, my voltage is 12 ohms. My voltage is 12 ohms, and I am using as well well, our liquids are a bit different than yours in the United States, for what I know, Taco. Ours have yeah, propylene glycol, glycerin, and nicotinate in it. So that kind of a liquid, and I'm using 80 milligrams of nicotine liquid in 10 milliliters, right? 18 milligrams in 10 milliliters, and that pretty much satiates my nicotine starvation. With 2 inhales, I'm pretty much fine. The thing is that I smoke less with it, but the problem is that I do develop some kind of allergy to the oils, to that probably propylene glycol, and when I smoke it, I start having dandruff here on my mustaches. It's kind of awful, right? I mean, my skin starts to peel off. So I stopped it. And I miss it because it's very efficient. It's cheaper. Yeah, I mean, you dig into your pockets initially, but it is far cheaper than cigarettes afterwards. And it's better in every single way. Is better aside from the allergy that I developed. All right, Capricorn. Those are the 3 cards: the Hangman, the 4 of Cups, and the 2 of Swords. Fear not, my friends, for the path forward shall reveal itself on its own accord. That is what you need to know. You don't know what you need to do right now about your spouse, about your job, right? About, I don't know, in general. Or I don't know if it is eczema, but maybe. The thing is that the eczema, it's for the hair, for the hands. Here they're calling it in a different way. I mean, when you have it on your face here in Bulgaria. The path forward shall be revealed on its own accord. All that you need to know right now is that you don't have to do anything. For example, you feel an insatiable hunger to call someone just to hear their voice, but you don't know how to go about it. Don't call them, right? Not right now. Wait for them to call you, or at least a certain reason, because this shall reveal itself in front of you on its own accord. It may mean many things. Some kind of a very important reason may develop that compels you to call that person, for example, which is going to carry on the conversation, is going to set things right in front of you. The thing here is that the path forward, it is the path that is going to set things right for you in your, for example, love life, in your career, and so on and so forth. Yeah, but it was, Taco, it was pretty awful, mate. I mean, it was pretty awful. I thought that I have a leprosy at some point. When it started, I thought that I am developing leprosy. I was really, really scared. And I start going into medical doctors, and I have been made a lot of tests and whatnot, and nobody knew what's wrong with me. You know, why I am having these skin peel-offs whatsoever. And at the start of this year, they changed something with the patent of the liquids for the vapes. So for 3 months, nobody was allowed to sell them until kind of like they clear out the thing with the patent. So I couldn't buy those, and I figured I don't want to go back to the conventional cigarettes. I don't want to make my place kind of smells like a dumpster again, right? So I bought that thing, which is heat. I mean, instead of burning the tobacco, it heats it. And for about a week, the skin deterioration vanished. It completely vanished. So that's how I figure out that it needs to be from the vape. Well, no need to tackle. I mean, we are inhaling enough poisons up until this point. I mean, everything is polluted. The air is polluted, the food is polluted, the water is polluted, everything is polluted. So, no need to imagine. Well, this isn't liquid. That is still tobacco in those sticks. In these sticks, it's still tobacco, right? But it's, I don't know exactly what's the process behind it and what's the science behind it, but you cannot burn it. You need to heat it, and when you heat it, it separates the nicotine. It's supposed to separate only the nicotine from it. So, I mean, at least they advertise it as the most safest way to smoke and whatnot. I don't buy that, but it's better than cigarettes, definitely. All right, next, Scorpio. Not here, mate. Don't say that here. But yeah, it can work. Okay, Aquarius. Those are the 3 cards for you guys. Five of Swords, Knights of Pentacles, and the Page of Cups. So what do you need to know, Aquarius, is that things can happen far faster and far easier than initially planned. But also much more risky and much more taxing. Taxing in a sense of what needs to be invested in the process. And I'm sorry for giving you that example, but it is a very attuned example for that kind of a lineup of cards. Imagine that you need to get a paper from the government, right? And it is a lengthy process. And you have to go through several institutions and whatnot in order to be processed and to be evaluated and to get the paper. But someone tells you, I got a friend, right? I have a person, I have a contact who can do that for you in a couple of days for about that amount, right? So it's risky, it's costly, but it's simple and it's fast. So what you need to know is that you do have that option available. Not just only for papers, right? But for about everything. To pay to win. It is the way how we gamers call it, right? Pay to win your way through. Whether you're going to take it or not, it's entirely up to you. But it's very important to know one thing. Don't put your trust in the process, because these 2 cards here, okay, their warning is that the process is flawed. So even if you are perfect, you still may not be approved for whatever. For example, again, you are innocent, but you are charged. You have been indicted. And the prosecution comes with some kind of a deal to you, right? That is no jail time. It is just the only focus for you is having no jail time. The prosecution comes to you with such a deal. It's a bit taxing for whatever reason, right? But it's simple. It's going to make things simple and you walk free, okay? Because you are innocent, but you may go to jail no matter what, because law is flawed, right? I mean, the process of justice is flawed. There are many innocent people who go to prison anyway. So, just so you know, Aquarius, you do have that option in front of you to pay your way to win. All right, last but not least, Pisces. Yeah. Yeah, that's the same thing with this device as well. That's exactly what it does. It turns it to steam, which is different than the smoke. Because with the cigarettes, it's smoke. Wow. I don't know what's up with Pisces, by the way. I mean, for the last few, for the last couple of months, we do have that trend with Pisces, trend of no mercy whatsoever. Those are the cards for you guys. So what do you need to know? It is whether you are having a terrible fall in front of you. Look, that Queen of Swords, which is an individual, it could be a man, it could be a woman, right? The court cards, they're not restricted by gender, they're or a race or a skin color or an eyes color, contrary to what many tarot readers are saying. They are restricted by character. So the Queen of Swords, it's a character. What kind of a character? Well, a character who, when sets a goal, it completes it no matter what, right? So that is a person who can push their things through. And with the Seven of Wands, it means that that is a powerful person, a person who has positions, a person who has influence, a person who has a power. So what kind of relationship you do have with that person will determine whether that's a friend or a foe. Now, if it is a friend, then this friend, it's actually gonna allow you to propel yourself forward with them. For some kind of a reason, your interests will align and you get to use that indomitable force that they do have in terms of getting things done. If it's a foe, well, like Taco said, you better run, because this foe will have no mercy. No, it is nothing personal, right? For them, it's whether win or lose, and they are determined to win, because for them, again, the winner takes it all, whether for a big thing or for a small. And they are pretty set in terms of goal. That is what these cards are speaking here. They have no intention whatsoever to let go of that particular target of theirs. They have set their jaw and they are gonna break their head if they have to into the wall, but the wall is going to fall. Hopefully you aren't the wall, because again, I'm saying the wall will fall eventually. Alright guys, so that's gonna do it for the 12th. And now, super chat. Just give me a moment. Well, I'm feeling so happy that I can live again. You know, having no kidney stone in my urethra and being free to sleep and to kind of like enjoy things in life. Because the last few days, I just couldn't. Last week, what I'm talking about was last week and a half. I couldn't sit for a very long time like I'm sitting right now, because, you know, it compresses the urethra and kidney crisis starts. So my only options throughout the day was either to lay down or to walk. And walking was a bit painful. Well, there are meds that help, but it was a bit painful. Well, I choose the latter rather than the former, because through walking, you help the stone to kind of like move. Good night, living girl. So, advice from experience, personal experience, many years of experience, decades, in fact, of experience, because the first one was when I was 21, so a decade and a half, even more, of experience. When you have a kidney crisis and it is because of a stone, I know it hurts. I know that that's not the moment you want to do it, but for the sake of your health, you want to move, right? No matter how slow it is, Just walk. It's very, very important. Walk, walk, walk. That helps the stone to move. Oh, Yasmin, you're lucky that the ER is common in your in America or whatever, because in Bulgaria, kidney crisis is it's classified as non-life threatening, which isn't, you know. And when you call the ER, they are asking, you know, what's wrong. And if they determine that it isn't life-threatening, they are telling to you that they're just not going to come, right? So you have to drag your ass to the hospital yourself. Goodbye, Diana. But yeah, that's the real pain. It's so bad. I mean, this is so bad. I can't fathom how your body can have such a pain receptors. It's unbearable. That's the moment you want everything to end. Good night, Mattia. You're not gonna wait for your reading? Oh, to Diana. Oh, okay. Well, whenever he has them, even when he's patched up, okay, in the ER, is important after that move. Let him walk. Yeah, that's the thing. I don't care how strong you are. I don't care how tough you are. That is something you can't handle. It's just no one is able to handle. Unless you have that weird condition that you don't experience pain. All right, Yasmin first. Yeah, that's very important. It doesn't matter, you know, it doesn't matter if he's running or if he's walking fast. It's important to move the feet when you are in an upright position, especially for the men, because our urethra, it makes a very sharp turn, right? And very often the stones get jammed there. They just clog the urethra. And it's very important to move so you can kind of like incentivize through, you know, through muscle contraptions and whatnot, you incentivize the stone to kind of like move. Believe me, I tried everything, and that is what helps. That is what helps the most. Not to mention that walking, moving in general, it releases endorphins, natural endorphins into the body, so it helps with the pain. It's a small help, but believe me, in those conditions, every bit helps. Every bit matters. Every bit help matters. All right, Yasmin, what do you need to know? Those are the cards here. Is that you are going to be very pleasantly surprised. Well, Mattia, I don't know if it is if it helps with the gallbladder, because it's different mechanics there. But it helps for the kidney stones. But walking in general helps. Don't you notice, guys, when you are sick? I don't know, even if it is even if it is an ordinary flu, when you lay down, you get sicker. You get sicker, your fever increases, your cough intensifies, right? Your eye starts burning, your nose gets clogged, and in general you get worse. But when you start walking, for example, when you pick yourself up and you go to the grocery, when you go out and you start walking, you improve. That is because of the endorphins. This isn't real improvement, it makes you feel better. No, those cards aren't that bad. Those cards aren't that bad. Again, those are the cards. Because I'm using as well different system, okay, in order to give me a direction, to tell me what's all about. Because tarot doesn't tell you what it is about. And I need to know what it is about. And it is about a very pleasant, intimate time that you are going to spend. But one of the two things, Yasmin, it's either going to come from, okay, I'm going to approach it that way. They are going to manifest through the means you don't think are right. So that's going to shock you a bit. Okay. Or it may manifest through a person you do not want to manifest through. Right? God forbid, because you do have a boyfriend right now. You have a man. But what I do suspect is that your man, in attempt to kind of like make you excited and ignite the passion in, will try to deliver you a very awkward present. Very awkward present. A present that is out of place, let's put it that way. And you will find yourself a bit shocked and a bit hard to accept it, right? Like your first initial reaction is going to be, what in the world you're doing, man, right? But if you are able to move past this and you actually take it, you are off to experience an intimacy that you haven't experienced before. It will be, let's put it that way, life-changing, right? So that is what you need to know, that it is important to accept the gift, even if it is the most stupid things you ever, even if it is the most stupid thing you ever saw, right? That's what we have. All right, Nancy now. Yeah, keeping an open mind. Yeah, you could say that. I personally can't. You know, I had a girlfriend a few years back, and I don't wear hats. I don't wear scarves. And she kind of like tried to make me wear them, tried to make me like them, right? By gifting such things to me. And I couldn't hold back my resentment. Which was, you know, a bad thing for me to do, but it's just who I am. So don't do that. Yeah. But yeah, I don't wear scarves. Nor belts. Okay, nor hats. Hold on a second, Nancy. Those are your cards. Just as the Tower and King of Pentacles. And it's something about the social environment of yours. Social environment of yours. A collective gift. It's a collective gift that didn't need to be. All right. That is no different, for example, and I'm just, what did I bother? Nothing. That's the thing, guys. I don't like gifts. Okay, I don't feel the necessity to have them, nor I feel the necessity to give them. So I don't buy gifts, and that's a big flaw. But it is just, you know, it's whenever I kind of like think about it, it goes against my nature, and I don't do things against my nature. I feel very awkward when someone gifts me something. It's just it puts me in a precarious position. So while most of people like, you know, being gifted presents and whatnot, I don't. Unless it's Christmas, you know, that goes without saying. And that's what we have for you, Nancy, as well. Some kind of a collective gift. For example, you know, at the place you're working, whether your customers or whether, you know, the people that you're working with decide to buy you something for your birthday, let's say, or whatnot, that is going to make you feel attached. Like, how can I put it into words? You know, when you are being gifted a bucket of flowers, a bouquet, I'm sorry, not bucket, it's like bucket, you know, but bouquet of flowers with the intimate incentive, and you kind of feel bad to turn down the person because, you know, they went through the effort to gift you flowers and it's sweet and whatnot. That's what I mean. That's what I don't like gifts, you know, because it pushes you to a certain direction, right? It's just, yeah. But yeah, that's what will happen with you as well here. So that is what you need to know, is that you will receive something that will be in a form of present, and it doesn't have to be even something material, right? It could be in a form of a favor, like all of them to make you a big favor and kind of like you feel what was the word, um you feel like you owe them something afterwards. And I saying them, not like a single entity, but a collective. So this is what you need to watch out about. And the bastards are right. What I mean is that when they do that, it will be righteous for them to expect that you do owe them, that you do have an obligation. Thank you, Yasmin. That you do have an obligation to them. So Well, that's great, Nancy. That's great. Uh, but you know, that could be the case. You know that a present or something like this is gonna come out of it, or this itself, that award itself, kind of like obligates you to put more into work. I don't know, that could be the case, but that is what you need to know. It is that based on this present, you will be expected to do more. Very possible. Yes, very, very possible, Nancy. I will be very curious to hear. So if you know my email, right, it is my website. Um, Actually, it's not there, but you can fill up the contact form and it's going to shoot it out right. I'll be very curious to know how you felt after you get the, you get the appraisal. All right, next, Anna. But it's definitely a gift of the collective. You're welcome, Nancy. All right, Anna. Those are your cards. And they do concern a woman that it is not around you, right? A woman that it is far away, different city, different state, maybe different country, but through her comfort and independence, through her quite a big success. It's not impossible that that could be also could have something to do with inheritance. For example, to be noted that you are fit into your parents' inheritance in a way that you don't have to think about money or anything or properties or anything like that for the rest of your life if you do want to have a comfortable and independent life, right? But that's what the cards signify here, is that whatever concerns and worries for your stability in terms of the future comes about, these concerns are going to be put to rest by this woman, and the put to rest is going to be very, very successful, and you will find yourself being quite happy. Okay, that is what you need to know. That was, by the way, for you, Anna. All right, next, Mattia. Oh, hopefully it is. All right, Mattia. These are the cards. And it's an invitation or papers that are concerning your elders, your family. It could be your husband elders as well, because they are a part of your family. And it's about finalizing things, something that will put, say, disagreements or a flux to end. And those papers should be dealt with quite successful as well, right? In regards to those papers, those star cards are showing that this is a unfinished business that couldn't be finished by this point, but now, right, now things to be put to bed in regards to those papers or that invitation. For example, your parents wanted to invite you for a certain event or for a certain occasion, but they couldn't up until this point because, for example, they didn't know when that's going to happen or how that's going to happen, but they know now, and they are giving you that, they're shooting you with that invitation. That is just for example. And if you decide to go there, you will have a very successful, good time. But it could be also papers, okay? Papers about property, papers about, I don't know, documents, personal documents and whatnot. But the thing is that this mayhem in regards to that development here, it's gonna end. And what you need to know is that it's not going to return anymore. So I ain't gonna have any issues anymore, especially if these are papers, okay? Like, ever. So that's going to be put to rest for good. All right, next, Taco. All right, mate. Those are the cards for you. Those are the Lenormand cards, by the way. And I needed to draw one more here. Those three, those four. Okay, so we do have the heart, the snake, the sun, and the coffin. Yeah, and what the Lenormand says, it is that the event is end of emotional exploitation. So the only thing that I can figure out and what you need to know it is that your wife is gonna cut you some slack. And this is confirmed by those three cards because they say that from now on you get to do things you like, in a sense of things that you find your own agenda. I mean, there is nothing wrong that to fall with you know, your beloved agenda as well, but the primary force that is gonna drive you from now on for the next, let's say, couple of weeks is going to be your own agenda. For example, okay, your wife is gonna cut you some slack going at the restaurant you want instead of, you know, emotionally pushing you into the restaurant she wants, or watching the movie that you want instead of kind of like cuddling you into watching movies she wants. And it's going to be a clever way that she's gonna do it, mate. I mean, I can give her that in a way that it's not going to be even obvious to you, all right? It's not going to be even obvious, and it will be very subtle, not just only clever, but also a elegant, with alacrity, right? With alacrity, very deft, very deftly executed maneuvers are just gonna make you feel explorative and adventurous, in that, you know, you have a room to breathe. Yeah, but like I said, you are gonna be cut some slack. All right, next, Sherry. Let's have a look for you, Sherry. Man, I hope one day you kind of like dig out your Xbox. I would love to have a gaming session with you. You know, I mean, that's gonna be freaking great. Oh, they aren't or yet, but see you soon, Mattia. Have a great one. They haven't been out. They're not out yet, but they have passed through the painful, you know, section of the trace. Well, I am around, Sako, so whenever you figure out, mate. Sherry, those are the three cards. Loyalty. Loyalty and furthering, or not just only furthering, but as well stabilizing and maintaining the harmony within this loyalty. I don't know if involves intimacy. I mean, people see Two of Cups and they kind of like, they start getting wet by it. That is not necessarily an intimacy. Two of Cups stands for unobstructed interaction, unobstructed relationship. Like a relationship where there is no shame, there is no ego in it. You know, it's just two people who can share literally everything. Okay, for them, doesn't matter that one of them is rich, the other isn't. For them, it doesn't matter that one of them has career, the other one isn't, and so on and so forth. Just they're addressing each other as equal in literally everything, and that unites them. This isn't even relationship, it's unity. Okay, and it could stand for a friendship as well, but what we have here is a situation of loyalty. So that's the event. A way you're going to take, which is not going to betray someone's loyalty, while in the same time you will use the opportunity to further your goal throughout or toward the relationship that makes you feel unified, if that makes sense. See you soon, Taco. Much love to you too, mate. Oh. So that is what you need to know, Sherry. All right, next, Jasmine. You're welcome, Sherry. These are the cards for you, Jasmine. You will receive an ultimate support by a woman, right? So you are going to be supported throughout your development into something, whether that's, for example, a non-profit, okay, a woman that is a part of a non-profit, whether it's a client, whether it's a business partner. I just, you will find a support and a fruitful cooperation in a woman to proceed further with your with a certain development of yours. You will not going to be able to put your fingers on certain things. For example, one of them, it is, how is this woman having so much resources? That is, for example, or what is the reason behind one or another thing? And of course, we are human, right? You will have that curiosity. You will want to discover. Don't. Because this is going to be the end of the support that you will receive. And maybe that's a warning. Because if you do right now have that support, that's a warning that this support will come if you try to kind of like answer those question marks that are surrounding, you know, the supporting side. It does look like that you are going to have the necessary alliance, connection, fruitful cooperation again that will allow you to proceed with your developments. And yeah, again, I want to underline here, there are going to be things you cannot be able to answer about it. For example, why that person wants to support you. Don't try to. It's irrelevant. Okay. Next. Nita P. What do I need to know? So it's a message. You wanted a message from your fella rising Aquarius, which is what you need to know. Let's check it out. Those are your cards. The message is that it's not going to work out the way you wish, but it's going to work out in a favorable way. What these cards are referring to, Nita, is a grand scheme of things, or a grand scheme of a thing. Okay, an ambition that you are nurturing, an ambition that you are feeding, and this ambition, according to these cards, cannot be fulfilled the way you want, but is going to be fulfilled in a way that is going to work, if that makes sense. Other than that, right now, in the next few days, it's not a time where, you know, you need to be negligent. I will put it that way. Good night, Jasmine. Where you need to be, or you should be, negligent. Next few days are days where you roll up your sleeves and you get to work, if that makes sense. So the message here is that just because you do believe that, I can't put it into words, things can magically happen, it doesn't mean that they will. In fact, they won't. And it's time for you to transform, you know, whatever ambition you do have in a powerful drive, and try to do the best you can. And next, news Devon, which is what's coming my way as an inquiry. Let's check it out. You're welcome, Nita. Those are cards. What's coming your way, it is the end of the era of the small man. That's coming your way. It's not it is not just an event, it's a threshold. Very, very rare for the Lenormand to show such a thing. Okay, very, very rare to show a threshold, something that it is more accustomed to tarot, but they're showing it. I've actually, for the first time, they're showing such a thing. The end of an era for small men. So hopefully from now on forward, moving forward, the men you are going to encounter, they will stand for something, for more than those that have stood up until now. Yeah. That's what's coming your way. News Devon. All right, people, that's gonna do it. Thank you so much for watching. And thank you so much for your generosity. We're gonna see each other next time. Hopefully I'm gonna follow you again. And until then, bye.